Hi, we are at San Diego Comic-Con. Of course, it is 2019, the 50th year. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for everyone viewing?
Hello, my name is Chandra Feltus.
Awesome. Can you talk maybe a little bit about what you do, what your job is in film?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I have a new company, and I'm a partner at this company, and I'm also the. Am I talking to you?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, either one. You're
Okay,
good.
cool. Yeah, I'm a partner in a new agency called Neer, and we represent cinematographers and directors and specialty motion artists who work in film and TV, but also within the fashion space. So fashion films
That's very
and
cool.
commercials and social media content. So we come in and help typically photographers and directors that are working on a print campaign to produce the motion content of that same visual.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you're like behind the scenes of the behind the scene people.
I am yes, exactly. That's me.
Awesome. What kind of made you want to get into that?
Well, actually, I've been an agent my entire career. I come from Ford Models. I used to
wow.
be an agent at Ford Models in
That's
New
so
York
cool.
and LA, and I ran the West Coast operations for Ford Models for the last 10 years. So I already come from being an
That kind of
artist
background, yeah.
manager and but in the same industry. So now it's really amazing and cool that I can represent and develop
Yeah.
a new type of artist, which is extremely relevant right now in this space and within the same network and community that I've spent my whole career in.
Yeah. Do you find any differences working for Ford? That's more like talent, where this is more kind of
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of similarities, but there are a lot of differences. Obviously, it's just a different artist. There's different challenges. Everything's about motion is very different than print, but representing an artist is still the same. All those fundamentals are still the same. So what I think is really unique right now and exciting is that I'm able to develop my own company we are in a space that is very relevant right now. We're being really widely well received by many people in the industry, and it's cool that we're sort of can carve that path and develop our agency in our own way, and we're not stuck in old processes of a company that's been around for decades. We're sort of going with it and creating all kinds of new just ways of doing business today, which is exciting.
Very well. I've heard. I just graduated school, and we had a couple agents come in, and they were always a little hesitant to get people into the agency just because internships. They always had kind of horror stories. So, what kind of advice would you give to someone who really wants to be an agent? Because it's so important.
It is, I think, and being an agent is sort of an interesting, unique career because it's just unique in general. I would just say if anybody's interested in being an agent, find the field that you want to be an agent in and contact anybody that you want to learn from or work with, and be really persistent in an appropriate way. It's sort of I always say, be patient yet persevere. Have that perseverance attitude, and don't just think oh, they didn't get back to me. That's the way I got my first job, was a job interview at Elite, and I didn't really know what I was getting into. I was fresh out of school as well, and I think a lot of people from my school interviewed for that job, and I just kind of kept following up and then following up, and then next thing, I think that they're just this girl's really showing that she wants it, and we like her, and she seems cool, and she can learn. So I think that's a good piece of advice, is just keep trying. If you think that you're going to be good at it, then you just have to find your way, and you have to be persistent.
Yeah, and I think that works with everything. That's great advice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us. It was so nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay.